Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. We are with our level 16 brute, Quintessence lass, who is getting close to level 17. She has 65,000 experience earned with 2,500 to go to get to level 17. And I brought you back, even though I'm doing a scanner mission, police scanner mission, which is like a newspaper mission, because we're getting close to level 17, and I started to think I might get there now. So we got to level 16 off screen, and I took energy protection. Now, energy protection is a passive power. It's auto, so it costs no endurance. It gives some resistance to energy, toxic, and negative energy. And it also gives you some resistance to run and recharge debuffs. So why did I take that? It's a passive. And the reason I took that is because at this stage, since we don't have single origin enhancers in our stamina, since we don't have endurance reducers on all of our powers, and they're not single origin even if we have them, we really can't afford to run a third toggle. I'm already gasping for endurance after a few spawns worth of fights, and as a brute we've got to keep moving quickly to keep our fury up. So I decided, rather than take another toggle, which I probably can't leave on all the time and fund endurance-wise yet anyway, I would take a passive. The other benefit of passives is that unlike the toggles, which are going to require 4 slots, 1 for endurance, and then that you start with, and then an additional 3 for their defense or resistance buffs, the passives only require 3 because you don't need endurance reducers on them. So in this pre-level 32 range, where we're only getting 2 slots a level instead of 3, and we're starved for slots, we really need them in our attacks, I figure every slot is worth it, and let's take something we only need to add 2 slots to, which allows me to shunt a little bit more into the attacks. Also, we'll be able to shunt more into the attacks because we don't need to add anything to health and stamina any longer. So that was my logic on that. At level 17 we will be getting a couple of slots, and since we, I think, finished this up at 15 along with stamina at level 17, I think we're going to go 2 slots in the attack powers. We don't really need slots here until we have single origin, so I will get it probably at 19th. I'll start putting slots in here, but for the next level I want to get slots in some of these. I might want to finish up Shadow Mall with, well, not quite, move toward finishing it and then add 1 to Siphon Life. I feel like we need to get accuracies on that. My thinking on Siphon Life is actually to buff the health so that it heals us, and also make sure we put 2 accuracies on it. I'm thinking we don't need a recharge on it because we don't need to trigger it that often, especially if it's doing heal and not damage. So my thinking on this is 2 accuracy, 1 endurance, 3 heal. It does really good damage, and in the future I might want to slot it for damage, and I don't know what I'm going to do when we get to inventions, but I think for right now it's super helpful to have that thing healing us up. So now this is a police scanner mission. I took this mission because we had to defeat Bonebreaker and his guards, so it's a boss. I took this mission because it was Vajjalok, and this character hasn't fought Vajjalok, so I want to see how she does. And my guess is, well, let's try doing this without a pole. Let's just go pound them. We do negatives, so that might help us. Oh man, look at that. We're already getting pounded. And that heal will help. Man, what is it about the Vajjalok that they do so much ridiculous damage that even 4 or 5 white cons are just owning you? They just seem so accurate, and once again, this is a defense character that should mean they only can hit me occasionally, and they're hitting me constantly. Okay, that helps. The healing, as you can see, helps. So I want to heal more when we do it. Now, obviously, I'm going to want to recharge it as well. One of my thoughts for this character is possibly hasten. We can certainly justify it conceptually. I don't know what it is with this thing that it keeps not wanting to trigger when I click on it. I have to move the bar every time. I don't know why. So anyway, one way to justify it is, you know, dark energy would sort of energize her, and that's fine. If we don't need stealth, which maybe we won't since we get something like that in our secondary power set, then we'll have plenty of room to take that as a pool power. And I don't really have any other pool powers that I'm interested in right now. Wow, look at all this. How many of these guys are there? 3 there and a Reaper. Alright, this is going to have to be pulls. We're only 16th level and they're Vajjalak, and we're a defense-based, mostly a defense-based brute, which is like just like a super reflex scrapper or stalker. So, boy, they are stupid. I definitely want to get some sort of a range strike for her. Probably that will require the epic powers. But as you can see, we're healing 46. If we doubled that, that would be 92. And our total health is only 461, so that would be like a 20% heal. So it's 10% now, and if we buffed it, it would be 20%. That's almost like being able to take a heal inspiration every time we do it, and it recharges every 10 seconds. So that's like taking a heal inspiration every 10 seconds, which is pretty good. Or that's only if we buff it for heal. If you hear beeping, that's a friend of mine, my really good friend who is obsessed with D&D and is trying to play in other games. And I asked him just recently how he's tried to get into multiple games on the internet. Only one has worked. One that he's doing on Roll20, where the person advertised on Roll20 and he's paying some amount to the guy to, I think it's like $7 a week or something, to be in the campaign. They had a bit of a rough start. A couple of the players who were like a husband and wife actually didn't show up, and then when they did show up, they were kind of hogging the spotlight and they were upsetting people, and he was like, I don't know if I want to keep playing, and it turned out the other players kind of said the same, and the DM was like, okay, I'm just going to ban these guys. I'm just going to kick them out. And the rest of the, and then they added another player, and they've been having a good time. But he's tried to get into several other groups. First was one that was going to happen on Monday nights, and was Princes of the Apocalypse or something, and then that sort of never happened. And then there was another one that was Rime of the Frost Maiden. These are D&D adventures that have been published by Wizards of the Coast. And that DM, he said, was okay, but he didn't like the players. He thought they just wanted to kill everything, and they weren't interested in investigating. So there's this really cool story, and they were just sort of ignoring it, and he wasn't happy with that. So he quit that one. And then there was another one that was homebrew, and I said, oh, that's really cool that if it's homebrew, maybe that DM is a little more invested in it, and that sort of thing. And he said, yeah, it sounds cool. And then that DM sort of just, I don't know, that thing fizzled as well, and he gave up on that one. That was on, I think, Wednesday nights. And he told me just recently, I'm going to start doing Tuesday nights, and I just realized, oh, it's at least been one Tuesday night since he said that. And so I just sent him a message and said, how'd it go? Apparently it didn't go well, because he sent me like 4 responses. So I guess he's talking about that. I glanced at one of them, but since I'm playing with you guys, I'm not going to look at it until I'm done. But he started by saying the Sunday one's good. I don't know about the other. I'm not sure what he's going to say about the other one, but he's had some pretty mixed luck, mostly poor luck, rather than good luck in terms of getting into good games. And it's one of the reasons why I've just said, not interested in playing D&D with random people, because I don't trust the random people to to commit. I don't trust them to necessarily play the game the way I'm going to want to play it. There's just no way to know what sort of style these people have. You can have all the session zeros you want. It really depends on how folks play at the table, right? They can say one thing, oh yeah, I believe in XYZ, and then, well, do they really? All right, so we need to defeat Bone Shear and his guard, so we're gonna take out everybody in this room, I think. So yeah, I mean, he's been having some mixed success with it, I guess. He wants to play it so badly that he's willing to put up with a lot of the crap, whereas I want to play it, but I'm not willing to put up with the crap, right? Sort of like You know, I want to play City of Heroes, but I'm not willing to put up with Homecoming's crap. Fortunately, I can play on Rebirth instead. And by the crap, I mean just the personal stuff with the people who run the server. And I don't want to get into any more details about that. If you like Homecoming, more power to you. Alright, so we're taking all those because we're fighting a bad guy. And by the way, Mr. Boss, Luminous, Eidolon, or whatever you are, I can do dark just like you can, although this guy's doing radiation. So he's debuffing me in a different way from how I'm debuffing him. Wow, the radiation, that's another one that has really cool... I've never played. I tried doing a radiation defender at one point, and I just didn't like the way it played, but the effects are so cool. Almost every power set in the game has cool effects. They did an awesome job with the effects in this game. I know I've said that before, but every time I encounter those effects, I think about it, and I think, wow, you know, even something simple like the Nemesis Staff, which is just a one-off power. It's just not that big of a deal, right? It's just, oh no, is this guy going to be unhittable? Oh no, here we go. Come on. There we go. And we've leveled up. To be honest, in terms of joining, you know, random game groups on the internet, I probably wouldn't want to join a D&D group. I would love to try playing Savage Worlds with a group. And we now have our detective mission set, so we're going to be able to stop a bank robbery, and then after we do this, we'll get a contact, but we're not going to actually use that contact, believe it or not, because I realized that we need to get into fault line and start the first contact. Oops, missed. The first contacts. We need to start the first contacts missions. That's oh gosh, I can't remember the guy's name. Jake Tobin or something, who's like the son of Fault Line, the villain who like destroyed the area. Ooh, we can use that damage. Do we need it? Actually, no, wait a minute. We're 17th level. We don't need anything. We're going to get new enhancements, guys. So I'm going to have to pause it while I do that. But let's go ahead and add slots, and then I'll pause it while I go get some enhancements to fill out our slots. And then I'll bring you back when we're ready to go into the bank. Let's first go get our powers, or our slots, actually. And I've said this before, when I was first starting out in City of Heroes, I like the even levels because you got new powers, and that is cool, but as a veteran player, I like the odd levels better because you get more slots, and those make your existing powers better. So let's do Shadow Maul, and oh shoot, no, I wanted to do Siphon Life. Hang on. Let's try that again. Sorry about that, guys. Siphon Life, Shadow Maul. So we're getting close to 6 slots on Shadow Maul, and then that'll be done. It's my favorite power, so of course I'm going to buff it quickly. And as fully as possible. Alright, I'm going to do Psytech in here. I will get what I need, and I will bring you guys back once we are fully enhanced. I will see you in a moment. Alright folks, we are back. We have enhanced our powers. I've double accuracies on everything that's got 2 slots. We should hit pretty well. Shadow Maul also now has a little damage extra on it and a recharge enhancer, so it'll be recharging every 6.7 seconds instead of every 8. We've got our defenses enhanced, and I've also gone ahead and done health and stamina. And in terms of the amount of influence we have now, we have 839,000, which means at this point, if we simply teleported ourselves to 22nd level without gaining any more influence, we would have just about enough to fully SO our powers. Probably not things like Swift and Hurdle, but all of our primary secondaries, health and stamina. Because as I've said before, it takes about 800 to 850,000 to do that. Alright, so I want to talk to, what's the name, Jake Tembler, but first let's go ahead and talk to Detective Martins and do a bank robbery mission. In this case, unlike when we were Nightmare Lass, Quintessence Lass is going to be stopping the bank robbery rather than starting. I'll tell you what would be cool at 50th level if somehow I could have this character fight Nightmare Lass, like, you know, just have the game control Nightmare Lass and have Quintessence Lass fight her. What I might like to do is a multi-round battle, you know, I don't know, best of 5, where I start playing one of them and then I switch and play the other one and just see what happens. Could she beat Nightmare Lass? I think she'd kick Nightmare Lass's butt, because she just crushed the demons and then Nightmare Lass would be dead meat. Alright, well, let's go inside and talk to the detective. And he is going to give us protect Skyway City and stop the bank robbery. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to go to Skyway City. There's a bank robbery in progress there, and we're going to go stop it. And I don't think we have to actually, yeah, we don't actually have to actually go there. We just go to the van that teleports you to wherever the bank robbery happens to be. Man, I love this zone. I just love Paragon City. It's so much more pleasant than the Rogue Isles, and I know that, you know, partially on purpose, they were trying to make the Rogue Isles villainous and evil and, you know, kind of unpleasant because it's, you know, run by an evil dictator. But the effect of having to, like, go through these unpleasant zones for months as you level your character up is not enjoyable. Right? They made it too realistic and therefore not enjoyable enough. That's my opinion. Alright, in we go. We're going to go straight to the bank. I'm not going to try to get any extra bonuses. We don't care about that because I want to get into Fault Line and start the Jake Templar mission. So let's go straight to the bank. And we will ignore all else to the degree possible. We might aggro something, but we'll try not to. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to head in here. Gosh, I didn't think about whether we have the right inspirations, but it looks okay. We should pick a couple up when we come in and fight some thugs. And I see a villain coming. These are lost. I've had some fights against them. They're generally not a problem. I had all kinds of trouble against the Circle of Thorns, particularly the Spectral Demons. Look at this. Double accuracies and I still missed. Yeah, once they start debuffing you, you just literally cannot hit. And I had gone in there with just 2 accuracies, and I actually had to leave the mission to go get like a whole tray of accuracy, just so that I could just friggin' hit them. It was the Lady Jane mission. Okay. Anybody bad in here? Nope. Alright. So I don't know who the villain is. Robbers are getting away, stop them. Well, they should be in here, right? Yeah, here they are. Boss. No, you don't. Oh, Spine Scrapper. Yeah, I'm gonna kick your butt. By the way, one of the things I noticed about, and I noticed this actually because I was struggling so much in the Lady Jane mission, that Dark Melee does not appear to have the equivalent of a build-up, which every other melee set that I know of does. Right? We have Touch of Fear, Taunt, and then Dark Consumption, Soul Drain, and Midnight Grasp are all just like AoE and non-ranged attack powers. And we're not going to worry about the Mayhem. So I'm actually quite surprised that it doesn't have a build-up. Because it's one of the things I was like, why am I having so much trouble? And I realized because I can't, if I run out of accuracies, I don't have a build-up to hit. So I'm not sure how I'm going to work that out in terms of just how I run the character, because I'm so used to having something equivalent to build-up that I can hit. You know, obviously Nightmare Lass didn't have that, but Nightmare Lass didn't attack her own enemies. She had her minions do that. And she was buffing them. So that's kind of interesting. And I'm not sure how I'm going to arrange the character given the lack of build-up. And I don't think there's any pool power that is really equivalent to it, unless you want to go into tactics and maneuvers and all that crap, which I'd really rather not do. Maybe there's an epic power that does it? Don't know. So this guy should give us a contact now. Colleen Sarmango or Farid Abdullah or Choge. Now Choge does Tsu. She does Clockwork and Trolls, and he does Clockwork and Lost. Let's do Clockwork and Lost. I haven't fought any Clockworks yet, so we'll do that. But we're not going to do that right now because we're going to see Jake. Because he only goes to level 18 or 19, I think. Maybe 20. So let's go see him right now. We're going to go to Fault Line. So I'm going to head to Fault Line, and I'll bring you back when we're there. We are back in Fault Line, and just as a reminder, inside the donut there is a badge location. So if you're looking for badges, that's one place to go. So let us see if we can talk to Jake Temblor. I don't know if he's going to talk to us, but we're going to try. Yep, there we go. And he says, who are you supposed to be? Some kind of hero? Did one of those do-gooders send you? Well, I don't need your help. I've got it all covered. Me and... Wait, please stop, Quintessence Lass. Don't go. I'm sorry. I really do need help. It's just that... I mean, look. A friend of mine who was trying to help me, I think she's in trouble, real trouble, and this is Fusionette. So Rumblings of the Past Part 1. You see, this friend of mine, she's got powers kind of like you. She calls herself Fusionette. Now that she went and became a hero. But we've been friends since we were kids, living here before. Well, I came back to Overbrook to find something, a memento of my dad. He died when it all happened. I didn't find it, but I did find out that the Lost probably took the thing that I was looking for when they were scavenging for valuable stuff. Fusionette, said, hey, dude, don't out her secret identity. Fusionette, said she'd check it out for me, but she hasn't been back. I know you hero types stick together. Could you go help her? So we'll go help Fusionette. I normally don't like the NPCs, but I actually do kind of like Fusionette. She's kind of cute, and in these missions, she's perfectly fine, usually. And she's a blaster. She just flies around behind you and shoots things. She does tend to over-aggro, but she historically hasn't been as utterly stupid as Lady Jane, and I don't think I've ever gotten her killed, or had her get herself killed. What is this? Oh, no, I want to get rid of this. Resurrection, go away. And let's do an AoE. Nope, didn't quite get him in the cone. One thing that I think putting heal enhancers on Siphon Life will do for us is allow me just to probably not carry many or any green inspirations at all, which will allow us to carry more blues or purples or what have you. Look at that. Took out half the hit points of both of them in one shot. That's awesome. I will say that under most circumstances, except when fighting Orange Conning Lieutenant Nervous Spectral Demons in the Circle of Thorns missions, this character absolutely kicks butt. At least as much as my martial arts scrapper, and possibly more. She is just awesome. However, she has died twice. Once because I was stupid and didn't realize I was fighting a boss, and once in that mission against the Nervas. I was thinking, should I run? Should I run? Yeah, I better run. And just as I decided I'm going to run, yeah, he got me. I couldn't hit him. I was like, I'll just Siphon Life and then run, and of course I couldn't hit him with Siphon Life. And that was with 2 accuracy inspirations running, and he still had me floored. Or nearly floored. Okay, so we're trying to find Fusionette. No sign of her yet. I thought... I could have sworn it was an office where you found her, not a warehouse. But I may be thinking of another mission. That is what I like to see. Look at that. Awesome. 2 lieutenants, I think we'll take them. We got our Fury pretty well built up. And they're not even aggro to me. By the time they do, this guy's going to be dead. Or not dead. This isn't a supervillain. We don't kill. We just arrest. But they're pretty beaten up and bruised when they get arrested. And you can see how, just looking at where that word balloon's coming from, you can see how this character, that Siphon Life, really helps you keep those hit points spiked up toward the top. And that's without heal enhancers on it. When we put heal enhancers on it, it'll do that even more. You can see also I'm not having to use Sands of Mew much at all anymore now, because we have enough powers and we have a little bit extra recharge on Shadow Maul. So every once in a while I've got to throw Sands of Mew in there to finish out the attack chain, but not that often. And we don't need that many greens, so we'll get rid of one. Man, just look how fast their hit points go down. Right now, the only thing limiting us is endurance. I have to slow down, whoops, or take a pill. It's the only thing limiting us right now. Where's Fusionette? Oh, there she is. She's up there. Okay, well, we'll beat up these guys and then go get her. So we have a boss up there. Take a couple of pills. And in we go. Good luck hitting me, buddy. Well, he hit me that time. Notice how he's missing me a lot, though. He's been debuffed, and I have good defense from all those inspirations. Alright, Fuge, come with me. You coming? I do like her. I think she's cute. I like her costume. It's cool. And I assume we're going to be ambushed. Doesn't she fly? I thought she flew. Maybe that's in a later mission. I could have sworn she flew the last time I saw her. But you do meet her again, like in the upper levels, so it might be, that might be the case, that she flies later. Yeah, because she's definitely not flying now. Alright, so, Jimmy's been looking for something, since Overbrook was destroyed. It's a recording of the last battle when Faultline destroyed everything. Oh, he doesn't want it for anything morbid. No, Jimmy, you see, his dad was there when it all went down. All Jimmy wants to know is what happened. We learned that the Lost had scavenged the area it happened in. So I went to see if they had the tape. They did, but I just missed it. One of their big shots is interested in seeing it too. Some guy named Curse. Don't know why he's interested, but I think he has the tape now. All right, folks. Well, we're going to find out about this later because I think this is our last mission. We've done a fair bit. It is yeah, 30 minutes, so it was a good place to stop. I think we're going to go back to Jake, or Jim rather, not Jake. Why do I keep calling him Jake? We're going to go back to Jim Tembler. And again, there's the donut if you're looking for that um, badge, the Explorer badge. And there's also a plaque here. It's one of the history plaques, I believe. So he says, that's just a summary. I got a call from Fusionette. She told me she's fine thanks to you, so I owe you for that. She also said the Lost did have the tape, but now some Lost leader called Curse has it. Then she told me that she's going to get it by herself. Yeah, impulsive. She's in no shape to fight again. It's too soon. All I wanted was to find out what happened to my dad. I didn't want her getting hurt doing it. Hey, I heard there were some people looking for you. Be introduced to new contact. Kong Bao and Wyatt Anderson. Wyatt Anderson, Clockworks. We already have Clockworks. Sue. Do I really want to fight Sue? Yeah, alright. And he's got more missions, but we will find out about those later. Until next time, folks, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been City of Heroes on the Rebirth server.